So, a few years ago, a friend of us invited us for a birthday celebration, and it was one of those big milestone birthdays. He wanted to celebrate his birthday at a winery in Santa Barbara, so it's a little bit north of Los Angeles. So, he was trying to do something special for his birthday where everyone would get dressed, have a beautiful table in a vineyard, order bottles of wine, order food, and basically create nice memories with good friends. And when we got that invitation, the first thing that went through my mind was, how much is this going to cost? So I started doing the math in my head. So roughly dinner was around between 100 and 150 per person. So for the two of us, it would be around $300. You add bottle of wine to that, you add tax, you add tip, you add parking, you add gas money. And because this would be at least a 3-hour drive for us, so we needed a hotel stay. And if you add everything together, it was coming out to about $1,000 for one evening. And mind you, that doesn't even include a birthday gift. And I remember thinking to myself, do I want to spend this kind of money on a group dinner for a single evening? Or would I rather save this money? And now that I'm talking about it, that's rent money for a lot of people. That's grocery money for a whole month. So it's not the kind of money that you just spend casually. We almost didn't go to this birthday party. Not because we didn't care for this friend, not because we didn't want to celebrate his big milestone birthday. And years ago, I would have never thought twice about this. I'd have just gone and spent the money. But suddenly, it now felt complicated. It felt conflicting. And at first I thought maybe this is about me getting older and maybe I was becoming wiser, more careful, more practical. Because as we get older, time, money, and energy, they start to feel, different. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this was not really about age. This was more about the financial reality that many people are living in right now. It doesn't matter how many assets you have, it doesn't matter how much cushion you have saved up. There is still this constant thought in the back of many people's minds that tomorrow could be unpredictable. So then the question becomes, should we go? Can we afford something like this in the long run? What kind of gift would we bring? And how much is the gift going to cost? Will I regret it tomorrow? And once those questions enter your mind, even something as simple as a birthday dinner stops feeling simple. So in the end, we went anyways, and he ended up paying for everyone's dinner. But that feeling stayed with me for a very long time. The hesitation, the math, the immediate realization that saying yes now comes with a number attached to it. And I think many people are living some version of this right now. And some people have been living this for years. For some people, it is not about a big birthday dinner. It's as simple as dinner with friends. It's as simple as grabbing a drink after work with coworkers. It's as simple as not having enough time to make coffee in the morning, so should I stop and buy a coffee at Starbucks? Or even a casual dinner with family and friends. A simple invitation that you would have normally said yes to years ago without thinking twice. But now it gets measured against rent. It gets measured against your mortgage. It gets measured against your grocery bill, your insurance, against the possibility that something unexpected next week could happen. So life now feels a lot more restricted. People feel more boxed in, not because people want less joy, not because people want less friendship, not because people stopped wanting to live, but because survival mode changes the way you move through everyday life. You become more careful with money, more careful with the energy that you spend, more careful with the time that you spend, more careful with what you say yes to. And I think a lot of us right now are measuring our friendships, our rest, our joy, our spontaneity against our bank account. And that is what I want to talk about today. Because this survival mode is not always easy to see. Sometimes it looks like staying home and telling people that you are tired, when the truth is you are trying to not fall behind financially. And that brings us to where many people are right now. That we are not tired, we are trapped in a maintenance mode. People are working harder, we still feel like we are not moving forward. So I was having this conversation last week with a close friend of mine, and we were talking about how it now feels like there's no progression, that it feels like we're constantly living in a maintenance trap. And this is one of the most painful parts of this survival mode, because it's not that people are not doing anything, they are doing exactly what society has told them to do. You work hard, you move up the ladder, you take responsibility, you become independent, you stop relying on help, you build a better life. But for a lot of people, especially Americans, the reward no longer feels like freedom. So the friend that I was having this conversation with is a social worker, and we started getting into this conversation about a very popular American opinion where people who are sitting comfortably in their life financially look at people that are struggling and assume that the people that are struggling are not working hard enough. They assume that people are not disciplined enough. They assume that people that are struggling are spending too much. And they also assume that people that are struggling need to make better choices in life. But that explanation, I think it's way too simple. A lot of the people who have less are working harder than the people that have more. So I know someone personally who's been through this and for years relied on government help. And this is all while working full-time and raising a child. Her goal was to get off of government assistance. She pushed herself and eventually got a better job that paid a lot more. So on paper, it looked like she was progressing. Because she earned more, she lost all of her government assistance. And yes, I understand that is the entire point. But here's something that a lot of people don't understand. Once you come off of government assistance, your healthcare costs go up. Her rent went up, her utilities went up. So the income that was supposed to give her her freedom got swallowed by the cost of basic life. And this is the gap that many Americans fall into today. So I was reading this article that only 55% of the US adults had 3 months of emergency savings in their bank account. That means about 45% did not have any cushion. And another article mentioned that in 2024, only 63% of adults in the US could cover up to $400 in emergency. That means 37% could not even cover a $400 emergency. And Bank of America estimated that nearly a quarter of US households were living paycheck to paycheck. That's 25%. What I find hard to understand is that America is supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world, and yet so many people are living with a level of financial pressure that does not feel like freedom. When I spend half the year in Germany versus half the year here in the US, my life in Germany feels far less stressful financially than it does here in the USA. I feel like we're constantly on alert on what we're spending, how much we're spending, where the money is going, what's coming up next financially. Healthcare is crazy. But when I spend my time in Germany, my body feels at ease. We all would agree that life shouldn't be just about paying bills. Adulthood should not mean working full-time and still being afraid of a $400 emergency fund. Because when every decision that you make is financial, you stop saying yes to things, you stop making plans, you stop reaching out to people, to friends, to family, you stop going places. You tell yourself that you are being practical, but underneath all of that practicality, there is grief of just watching life go by. And this is why so many people here in the USA constantly feel tired. A lot of people are not failing. They are living inside a system that keeps asking for more from them. And it doesn't fairly give you back for the effort that you put in. So my message in this video is, if you know someone who's struggling, saying, I get it, instead of you should budget better. Because being in survival mode, it gets worse when people suffer privately. And maybe that's where we begin, by recognizing it. Not by fixing everything overnight, but by refusing to let financial pressure steal our humanity. Surviving cannot be the entire point of being alive.